Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep into traditional American cuisine today.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, and we've got a great guide, The Alchemy of American Cuisine.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it inspired by, like, the first American cookbook?
Exactly. Amelia Simmons' American Cookery from 1796.
Wow. So we're going way back to the roots of American cooking here.
Yep, unlocking those culinary secrets passed down through generations.
I'm ready. Tell me more.
Well, the book lays out 7 secrets to mastering New World flavors.
7 secrets. Okay, I'm hooked. Let's hear them.
Secret number 1 is all about the power of native ingredients. Freshness and quality are key, according to the book.
Makes sense. Early Americans really depended on what they could grow or catch themselves, right?
Right. That connection to the land, to the seasons, it's essential for authentic flavors.
It's like back then, they couldn't just pop down to the supermarket for anything, anytime.
Exactly. And the book gets specific about certain ingredients, like grass-fed beef.
Oh yeah, grass-fed is so much better. It's got this coarse, open grain, almost oily to the touch.
The book describes it that way. Yeah, it's a sign the animal was out grazing freely, living a good life.
And that translates to better flavor, too.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So what should we look for when we're picking out beef?
Bright red meat, for sure, with white or cream-colored fat, not yellow.
The fat.
Yeah. The color tells you about the animal's diet. The whiter it is, the healthier the diet was, the tastier the beef.
Never thought about it that way. It's not just about appearance, but understanding what's behind it.
Exactly. You're looking for those signs of quality.
The book also talks a lot about free-range poultry, especially young hens, or pullets.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
That's what they call them. Apparently, their meat was super tender and flavorful.
Interesting. It reminds me that sometimes those old school practices really did produce better results.
Totally. Now, on to my favorite seafood. The book actually says salmon can taste better a few days out of the water.
Really? I always thought fresher was better when it comes to fish.
Me do. But think about it traditionally, they didn't have refrigerators. They had to find ways to preserve fish.
Right. So some fish might actually develop a richer flavor over time as long as they're stored, right?
Exactly. So tell me, what should I look for when I'm picking out fish?
Okay. Remember those bright, bulging eyes we talked about?
Yeah, for freshness.
Same with fish. Bright red gills, firm flesh, and a fresh ocean smell.
Makes sense. And what about shellfish?
Oysters and clams should be tightly closed or close when you touch them.
Got it. And crabs.
They got to be lively, active, like they were just caught.
Gotcha. You want that energy.
Absolutely. And let's not forget those Native American staples like corn, squash, beans, potato.
Oh, yeah. The foundation of so many classic American dishes.
They represent that connection to the land we were talking about, and they're so versatile.
It's like unlocking a whole new appreciation for the ingredients themselves.
Exactly. That appreciation is key to mastering traditional American cuisine.
Well said. So secret number 2 is all about mastering meat selection.
It's not just grabbing whatever's on sale, right? It's about knowing those signs of quality.
You got it. The book talks about lamb, saying the best comes from animals between 2 and 3 years old.
Makes sense. Age affects the flavor, for sure.
Right. And the meat should be light pink with firm white fat.
Again, that fat quality. It's a good indicator.
For sure. Then there's veal. It should be pale pink, firm, finely textured.
Veal is delicate, needs to be cooked just right.
Absolutely. For pork, we're looking for light pink meat with white, firm fat.
And for bacon, that perfect balance of lean meat and marbling.
Oh, yeah. The key to delicious bacon.
For sure. Now, when it comes to poultry, the book has some great tips on how to spot fresh poultry.
Like using your nose. It should smell fresh, never unpleasant.
Right. Trust your senses.
And the skin for chicken and turkey, it should be smooth and unblemished. For turkeys, check for clear skin and no bruising.
Good tips. It's all about how the bird was handled.
Yep. And don't forget the legs. They should be soft and flexible for chicken and hens.
Not stiff or scaly, right?
Exactly. And for whole birds, the internal cavity should be clean and free of strong odors.
So much to remember.
It is. But it's fascinating to see how much attention to detail went into traditional American cooking.
Yeah, it really makes you appreciate the craft.
Absolutely. This focus on quality ingredients, it's not just about flavor.
It's about respecting those traditions, the craftsmanship that shaped American cuisine.
So true.
It's about honoring the legacy of those who came before us.
Beautifully said.
It's about understanding their approach to cooking,
It's inspiring, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to secret number 3, treasures of the waters, seafood time.
Ah, yes. American waters are full of delicious fish and seafood.
But knowing how to choose the best and prepare them right, that's key.
Absolutely. So imagine you're at the fish market. What are you looking for?
Let me see. Those bright, bulging eyes, right?
Yes. Bright red gills, firm flesh, all those signs of freshness we talked about.
And that fresh, mild smell. Not too fishy.
Exactly. Trust your nose, it won't steer you wrong.
Okay, and the crabs, they should be like practically jumping out of the tank.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You want them lively, full of energy, a good sign they were caught recently.
Got it. Now, the book mentions salmon again, saying it can be even tastier a few days out of the water.
It's true. It kind of goes against our modern thinking, right? We're all about fresh, fresh, fresh.
I know, right? But sometimes a little aging can actually enhance the flavor.
Just like with cheese, some things just get better with time.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk sauces. Secret number 4, the alchemy of sauces.
Sauces are magical. They can take a dish to a whole new level.
They really can. The book talks about so many classic American sauces, like cranberry sauce, the Thanksgiving staple.
And of course, there are regional variations too. Like in New England, they often add orange zest and cinnamon to their cranberry sauce.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Then there's gravy, a true comfort food classic.
The book walks us through the basic recipe using meat drippings, flour, and broth, but also dives into variations like Southern gravy.
Which is richer, creamier, right?
Exactly. Often made with butter and milk. And we can't forget barbecue sauce, a cornerstone of American cuisine.
Oh, yeah. And it has so many different regional styles, like Kansas City versus Carolina barbecue sauce.
Totally different flavor profiles. Kansas City is tomato-based with molasses and smoky spices, while Carolina barbecue sauce is tangy with a vinegar and mustard base.
I love them both. And even something as basic as tartar sauce can be made from scratch.
Absolutely. The book encourages us to try a homemade version with mayonnaise, pickles, onion, herbs. You can even add capers and horseradish for an East Coast twist.
It's amazing how much flavor can be packed into a sauce.
Right. And let's not forget applesauce. It goes way beyond just the basic cinnamon version.
The book highlights Pennsylvania Dutch applesauce, made with apple cider and butter for a richer flavor.
Yum. And then there's ranch dressing, an American classic.
The book guides us through making that original buttermilk-based recipe, but also encourages experimenting with Southwest variations.
Adding some cilantro and jalapeno, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance of flavors, sweet, sour, salty, umami, and the right consistency too.
Thicker for spreading, thinner for dressing, it all depends.
So much to consider. It makes you realize how important sauces really are in American cuisine.
They add that depth, complexity, and regional flair to so many dishes.
They're the secret weapon. Okay, on to secret number 5, the Symphony of Textures. I love that title.
It's all about how textures can really elevate a dish. Think about a perfectly cooked steak with a crisp sear on the outside and a juicy, tender inside.
Ooh, yeah. Or a creamy soup with crunchy croutons. It's that contrast that makes it so good.
Exactly. That interplay of different textures keeps our palates engaged and wanting more.
So how do we create that symphony of textures?
Well, the book talks about layering. Think about a meatloaf with a firm meat base, a soft vegetable layer, and then a crispy mashed potato topping.
Building those distinct layers.
Yep. Another technique is playing with different cooking methods. Like you could combine roasted and stewed chicken in one dish to get both crispy and tender textures.
That's a great idea. And then there's playing with temperature, like hot pie and cold ice cream classic.
It's that contrast that really awakens the senses.
For sure. And sometimes it's about adding those unexpected elements like dehydrated veggie chips in a salad or even popcorn in a dessert.
Those little surprises can make a dish so memorable. It's about thinking outside the box.
Exactly. Okay, so secret number 6 is the charm of elegant rustic presentation.
Presentation is often overlooked, but it's so important. It's about showcasing the beauty of the food, creating that sense of anticipation.
So true. The book talks about this elegant rustic presentation. What's that all about?
It's a style that's both sophisticated and approachable, embracing simplicity, letting the natural beauty of the ingredients shine through.
Instead of elaborate garnishes, maybe just a sprig of fresh herbs or some berries.
Exactly. Effortless touches that enhance the visual appeal without being fussy.
I love that. The book also talks about playing with textures in the presentation, like using whole grains, toasted nuts, contrasting smooth and rough surfaces.
Think of a hearty stew served in individual cast iron pots. That rustic charm adds so much.
Or how about serving fruit pies in mason jars? It's a fun twist on a classic.
And don't forget about natural elements.
Hmm.
The book suggests using corn husks or leaves as decorative accents.
It's like bringing nature to the table.
Right. It connects us back to the origins of the food, you know? And the book also talks about how dinnerware and utensils can enhance the experience, too.
Ooh, yeah, like what kind of plates or bowls we use.
Exactly. Handcrafted ceramics for rustic dishes, simple white porcelain to let those vibrant colors pop, even wooden plates for cheeses, vintage glass pitchers, it all adds to the ambiance.
It's about creating a whole curated experience.
Precisely. And now we come to the final secret, secret number 7, the tradition of American hospitality.
This one's my favorite. It's what makes a meal truly special, right?
Absolutely. Sharing a meal is about so much more than just the food itself. It's about connecting with others, creating memories, celebrating those traditions that are so important in American culture.
The book talks about the importance of atmosphere, using candles, wildflowers, seasonal fruit, even objects with history to create that warmth.
It's all about setting the stage, making your guests feel welcome, like they've stepped into a cozy American home.
I love that imagery. And the menu should showcase the diversity of American cuisine, right? Dishes from different regions.
Think of it as a culinary journey across the country, you know, a celebration of all those amazing flavors that define American cooking.
I'm in. And the book suggests serving family-style dishes, incorporating interactive elements, like a build-your-own-dessert station.
It's about encouraging interaction, making the meal fun, and engaging for everyone.
I love it. And don't forget the power of storytelling, sharing anecdotes about the recipes, the ingredients. It brings the food to life.
Absolutely. It creates a connection between the food, the people, and the history behind it all.
It's that human touch that makes it special.
Exactly. That's the true essence of American hospitality. It really is. You know, this deep dive has really opened my eyes to just how much there is to American cuisine. It's so much more than just, you know, burgers and fries.
Way more. It's a whole world of flavors and traditions.
It's a cuisine that's both grounded in history and always evolving, which is what makes it so exciting.
I agree. It's inspiring to see how those early cooks really understood the importance of quality ingredients, mastering techniques, creating that welcoming atmosphere.
For sure. And those are principles we can apply to our cooking today, right?
Absolutely. So what are some key takeaways you think our listeners can apply to their own culinary adventures?
Well, first and foremost, it all starts with the ingredients. Choosing fresh, high-quality ingredients, that's the foundation, especially for traditional American cuisine.
Like those early Americans, they really had to use what was available locally and in season.
Exactly. And that connection to the land, you can taste it in the food.
So true. Another takeaway is the importance of mastering those fundamental techniques.
You know, whether it's selecting the right cut of meat, knowing how to cook seafood perfectly, or creating that symphony of textures we talked about.
Right. Those techniques can really elevate your cooking.
They make all the difference. And let's not forget about presentation.
Presentation matters.
It does. It's not just about making the food look pretty. It's about enhancing the whole dining experience, showing your guests you care.
Creating that anticipation, the excitement to dig in.
Exactly. And finally, there's that spirit of American hospitality.
It's what makes a meal special, that feeling of warmth and connection.
It's about creating that welcoming atmosphere, sharing stories, connecting with the people around the table. That's what makes a meal truly memorable.
I love that. This deep dive has been a real culinary adventure. It's made me appreciate American cuisine in a whole new way.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's such a rich and complex cuisine.
So, what's next? Where do we go from here?
Now it's your turn. Take these ancestral secrets and create your own culinary masterpieces. Think about the next dish you're going to make and how you can apply what we've talked about today.
Choose the best ingredients, master those cuts, create that symphony of textures, present it beautifully, and most importantly, share it with people you care about.
That's what it's all about. That's the true essence of American cooking.
The alchemy of flavor, tradition, and hospitality.
Beautifully said.
Well, we've focused on the how today, but the why is just as fascinating. What other cultural influences have shaped American cuisine? What are your favorite regional dishes and why?
Those are great questions. I encourage everyone to keep exploring, keep experimenting, keep that culinary conversation going.
Happy cooking, everyone!